for all those folks who've been holding back about that's my mama or that's my sister or that's my dad, now's your chance. Woo! That sounds more like Spalding. Rock on, rock on. Okay, so we pride ourselves on getting folks out by noon, so I have 31 minutes. I'm often called upon to give commencement addresses, and I do drone on for about a half hour, but don't worry, I won't be doing that here today because the provost sits behind me, and I know he cares about time, and he wants us out the door. So it's my 4th year as president, so some of those first years came in with me. And I've established a pattern. I have a theme, I tell a story, we're going leopard hunting today, and then I finish with the 10 things I think I know. My theme for this morning is competition versus compassion. It shouldn't surprise you that I'm a little competitive. I like to win. Now, I'm not ashamed that I'm a competitive person, but many years of experience have taught me that I'm not at my best in a spirit of competition. I'm at my best when I act in a spirit of compassion. And I'd like our graduates to just ponder that as I wander through my remarks this morning. There may be a few in the audience who are new to the whole compassion conversation, so let me pause for a moment and define the term. Compassion, the word passion comes to us from the Latin pati, for suffering. What you are passionate about is the things for which you are willing to suffer. You can have a passion for your work, your sport, your hobby, or another person, or any number of other things. What you're passionate about is what you're willing to suffer for. The prefix "com" means with, the willingness to suffer with another. If I'm in a competition with another person or a group of other people, it doesn't help me to figure out how we're the same or how we're alike. It doesn't help me to find any common ground. It only helps me to figure out how we're different so that I may exploit those differences and so that I may grind you into dust. Or to use a biblical phrase that I'll be fond of this morning, to cast you into the darkness where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. The language of competition is based on us versus them, we versus they. Competition is grounded in a me first or us first mentality that reaches back into the history as far as the saber-toothed tiger. Human beings are a pack animal. If you send 3 of us off into the woods, we will create a hierarchy. Compassion requires us to take a different approach to the world. John Adams is quoted, our second president, is quoted as having said, "There are only 2 creatures of value on the face of the earth, those with a commitment and those who require the commitment of others." People with passion are committed to something, and people who require the commitment of others are those who can harness the engine of compassion. The greatest achievements of humanity are not singular. No one does them alone. The best elements of humanity are grounded in the language of we. We change the world. We make things happen. The bystanders within our spectator society employ a different word. People who sit on the sidelines use the word they. They should. They ought to. What they need to do is. It may not be compassionate for me to say this, but bystanders do not interest me. I'm interested only in the people who will step out onto the field. These people employ the word we. We should, we ought to, we need to do this, and we are Spalding. To build we in the diverse community of learners that is Spalding, we have no choice but to enlist the engine of compassion. Remember, if I'm in a competitive relationship, I'm looking for and exploiting differences. But if I'm building on compassion, I must find the ways in which we are the same or similar enough to share a common ground. We must move forward together on that common ground. I believe that when we employ the golden rule, we are building on compassionate relationships. One of the oldest versions of the golden rule comes to us from Confucius, about 500 years BC or before the Common Era. Whatever is hateful to you must refuse under any circumstances to do to another. Rabbi Hillel was asked by what I imagine to be a teenager, if you can recite the whole of Torah while standing on one foot, I will convert to Judaism. He says, do not do unto others what you would not have them do unto you. That is the whole of Torah, the rest is merely commentary, go and learn it. The Gospel of Matthew quotes Jesus, who gives us the positive version, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Islam picks up the same version from Christianity. Variations of the Golden Rule exist in all the major religions of the world. Modern variations include do unto others as they would have you do unto them. That can be really complicated, not just to read, but to do. My favorite among these variations is be the kind of person you would like to meet. I'm working on that, graduates. I think you can too. Be the kind of person you would like to meet. Now, these concepts can be a little esoteric, so let me frame them with a story. After I finished divinity school at Harvard, we have time so I can tell the story. This is a Harvard gown. Now, why is that important? Okay, I did my undergraduate at Smith College, a somewhat elite school in New England. I did a master's in divinity at Harvard, a somewhat elite school in New England. I did a law degree at the University of Louisville. The best academic program I was ever a part of was the Master's of Fine Arts in Writing at Spalding University. And I said that before I was the president. So after I finished div school, I ran a shelter for homeless women at 32nd and Broadway here in Louisville. My first day on the job, a woman came into my office roaring drunk. By the rules of the organization I worked for, I was supposed to throw her out. It would have been easy for me in a spirit of competition. I couldn't lose. The rules were on my side. All the benefits of power, privilege, education, they were all on my side. I could have kicked her back out on the street and no one would have thought any less of me. Cast her into the darkness where there'll be weeping and gnashing of teeth. The woman was my size and a little bigger. She stormed around my office. I felt a strange feeling. It reminded me of a time, this may be a stretch for some of you, when I went leopard hunting in Africa. I like to put lines in my speech that I imagine no other president in the United States can use. I've been traveling in Kenya through the Ngurumin Escarpment, which forms the western wall of the Great Rift Valley. I've been traveling with two Maasai elders. The Maasai tribe in Kenya is an amazing group of human beings, fabulous. Anyway, one of the Maasai was named Moses, the other was named Daniel. Yes, Archbishop, I think the Christian missionaries had been in that part of Kenya. Moses was kind of a liberated Maasai. He knew I was a woman. He was okay with that. Daniel was not a liberated Maasai. He knew I was a man, and he was okay with that. We were hiking through this area when Daniel said, Morefu. Morefu is Swahili for tall, or at least that's what they told me. Morefu, there has been a leopard in this area. Leopards are umbayasana. Leopards kill cattle. Anything that kills cattle are bad. Leopards are umbayasana. We must kill this leopard. I'm like, okay, Daniel, whatever. A few nights later, he comes into the boma about 3 o'clock in the morning, and he wakes me up and goes, Morefu, Morefu, let us go and kill this leopard. Let us kill it now. I'm going like, Daniel, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't want to go leopard hunting. He starts to tease me as if to say, what are you, a woman? I don't have the courage to tell him the truth, so I take my rungu, which the graduates, the astute, educated among us will realize this is a stick with a knob on the end of it. Daniel takes his spear. We go out, we catch a goat. We go out in the woods, we tie the goat to the tree, and then we wait. I have never prayed so hard in my entire life. The goat is going, ma, ma. I'm going, shut up, shut up. Dear God, if this Maasai fails to kill this leopard with his spear, you got a white woman with a stick. Smith College is an excellent liberal arts institution. They did not teach me how to kill a leopard with a stick. That would be practical knowledge. Fortunately for me, the leopard did not show up. I lived to tell the tale, and I do not need to explain to you how I was involved in killing a member of an endangered species. So back to the point of this story. What I was feeling in that office with that intoxicated woman who was just searching for a safe place to live or sleep was fear. I was scared. I don't know what it's like to live on this street, and I've spent months sleeping on the ground outside or in rowboats alone in the middle of the ocean, but that was by choice. It was not by necessity. I don't know what it feels like to be a battered woman. Some man hits me, I'm gonna hit him back, and I'm gonna hurt him. Forget about compassion. That's going to be about competition. I will cast him into the darkness where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. I didn't know what it was like to be a battered woman or to live on this street, but that woman in my office didn't know what it was like to hunt a leopard with a stick. But we both understood fear, and in facing those fears, we made a connection with one another. About 150 years before the Common Era, there was a poet named Terence. Terence and his mother were captured in North Africa and taken to Rome as slaves. There, Terence wrote such amazing poetry that his master set him free. Terence wrote, "I am a human being, therefore nothing human can be alien to me." This is a call for compassion that rings true to my heart. I am a human being, therefore nothing human can be alien to me. After spending a few weeks in a safe, sanitary environment, that woman was writing amazing poetry. Not amazing poetry for a woman who didn't have a home, amazing poetry. She had been in crisis. Her mental health had suffered. When she got on the right treatment plan and got the right care, her life settled back into balance. She finished college, she went on to divinity school, and the last I heard, she was leading a church. Had we met in a spirit of competition, I would have thrown her back out onto the street. In a spirit of compassion, I met her on the common ground of our very human fears. Winning and losing is easy. Mastering the middle ground of compassion is difficult. It is my challenge to the graduates today. As Goethe said, whatever you can do or dream you can, begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. Not everything's going to work out. Not all my stories have happy endings. No one of us is perfect. Each of us is a blend of dust and divinity. Each is mortal, and each is capable of being heroic. We must struggle to close the gap between the promise of humanity and the performance of human beings. I firmly believe that we are capable of traversing the distance between possibility and fact. To the graduates, Spalding has prepared you well. Where preparation meets opportunity, success is born. Educated people integrate critical intelligence with moral action. You will link the life of a mind with a real-world struggle for justice and human dignity. As scholars, you are creative individuals. You possess a clarity of mind and an energy of will. I have no doubt that you shall meet the challenge of the coming years. You have warmed yourselves by the fires of those who raised you. From our faculty, you have gathered the tinder of knowledge, that colorful posse of classroom teachers behind me. If you follow their examples, you will not take jobs you do not enjoy, to purchase things you do not need, to impress people you do not like. That would be crazy. They have taught you, and I hope your families have taught you, it is less important to be a person of means than it is to be a person with meaning. And what you have in life is not nearly as important as who you have in your lives. The time has come for our graduates to set out and light their own fires, to carry the mission of Spalding University out into the world. The world cries out for educated voices. Now, I like to end commencement addresses with a few platitudes, one or two of which you might actually remember. Socrates was known as the wisest man in history, and he said, "All I know is that I know nothing. I will freely admit that I don't know anything for sure, but I will end with 10 things I think I know. Number 1, silence is golden. And if silence should fail you, duct tape is silver." And it comes in a multitude of colors. Number 2, roadblocks only block the road. They don't block the grass, the path, the water, or the way less traveled. Roadblocks just block the road. Number 3, do not treat others in a way that makes them feel small. If making others feel small becomes a habit, it will make you smaller. Number 4, it is never too late to have a happy childhood. I've had many, and I have many more planned. Number 5, it is difficult to become old and wise if you are not first young and stupid. The value of education is to be able to learn from the mistakes of others. You cannot live long enough to make them all yourself. So I can encourage everyone to read books, because generations before you, we wrote our stupid down. We did not, I must say, shoot a video and post it on Facebook. Number 6, if you have to keep something that you are doing a secret, then perhaps you should not be doing it. Number 7, don't take yourself too seriously. No one else does. Number 8, be yourself. As Oscar Wilde pointed out, everyone else is already taken. Number 9, do not believe everything you think. You were a little slow on that one. Number 10, eat chocolate, wear sunscreen, and learn new things whenever possible. I commend you for reaching this milestone in your achievements and for the achievements you are yet to make. I have every confidence that when you leave Spalding University, you will stride forward, you will teach, heal, feed, and build, you will inform, advocate, comfort, guide, you will criticize, organize, contribute, and in 100 other ways serve people and causes. When this commencement service comes to an end, let your service to the world begin anew. Go out and make us proud.